Normally at this time we would jump into our Sunday morning Bible study, but I'm going to invite Kevin Milk, the congregational chairman, to come down and begin our congregational meeting. It is very brief and yet extremely informative. You'll know everything you need to about Star Bethlehem Lutheran Church. If you have any questions afterwards, please ask Kevin, myself, or any of the councilmen, and we'll try to enlighten you.
Thank you, sir. "29 again. Day to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ed. Happy birthday to you." We had a D here today. We're embarrassed. Welcome, everyone. As Pastor said, I'm the chairman of the meeting here. Quarterly, small group, invite everyone to come along. Just let you know what the council's up to, what our plans are couple months. That, and then if you have any questions, you can certainly ask as you will. We don't want you to leave here with any questions. All right, so we have a little agenda we follow every time. So we have basically 6 different committees on the church council, and we have a leader for our outreach program, adult discipleship, our youth programs here, property report, which is our birthday boy, and then we have an elder report as well, and a financial report at the end to let you know how we're divvying up the funds to get to us management. So first off, we'll have Russ come up, and Russ has to take a deep breath. We told him not to run up because we got a lot of stuff going on without. I think they can hear you, Russ. This is your arrow right there. Everybody. Oh, that's right. Sorry, forget the online people.
Hello. Now that I've all got that captive audience here, we got a lot of things going on. The first thing, church picnic is next Sunday. There's a lot of people signed up. There's a lot of food going to be there. Hopefully, you're going to be there to eat it because we don't want to take none home with us. Trunk or treat, usually a real big thing. We're expecting a lot of people. It is going to be on Saturday, 6 p.m. Want to be able to set up, and like I said, it's usually well visited with people from the community and the church. Okay, basically the families that are involved in the trunk portion will set up in the front parking lot. They'll open the trunks, provide snacks, games, and activities for the young ghouls. We also have informative things in the church that tell everybody why we're here, what we do. There's games, social events, and a little card that has our phone number on it that we pass out that basically, puts us out there. The next for the next thing on our calendar is November the 13th, following worship. We're going to have a get together up here, take a picture of the congregation. That Tuesday, it's Ask God Anything. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to have a lot of questions because it's right after the election, and hopefully somebody up there is going to give us some divine intervention because it's kind of messed up. Anyway, Tuesday, 15th at 6, it's our Thanksgiving worship. Christmas for Kids is there afterwards. The practice dates will be announced right now. The ladies are in charge of that, and they're in charge of it. So they're going to give us the tentative dates for the practices and whatnot. But it's scheduled to be December the 18th at 10 o'clock worship. Christmas Eve service is the 24th at 5:30. Being that Christmas is falling on a weekend, it's going to allow us to kind of do it a little earlier than we have in the past. There will be a Christmas Day worship at our normal time. The full list of events for the next couple of months is up here. There will be changes and updates in the calendar for events after the first of the year. So please be aware, and it's also going to be on the church website of the activities and the dates. Yeah.
Scott's on a mission trip today, so we only got one slide up there. Thank you. Do you have any questions for us before we sit down? Step away from the catch up on them afterwards. We had a jam with a lot of stuff going on there, so as the days get close to all these things, they'll get a church building up there on the website. I just forget about that. Online. There we go. Okay, I think we have one slide up here for Scott. So after worship Bible study, we're studying evangelism. There's a ladies group if you're interested that meets every other Tuesday right here at the church. So far, there's been about 6 ladies that come quite consistently. If you want to join in, you certainly can. They're studying a new book. It's called Bad Girls of the Bible. So you can learn all about that. And then right now we have 4 people in our what we call our BIC class, or Bible Information class. And for those of you that aren't aware what that is, if you're seeking membership in the church, go through the BIC class first and learn all about us to make sure you're making an informed decision. And then we sort of go from there. And Pastor would take you through all the steps of that. But we welcome anyone to ask any questions. Pastor kind of leads the BIC class, so please chat with him. We're happy to take anyone in that's interested. Still doing a men's luncheon. Those of us that aren't all that busy, September 21st is the next one right up here at Brick's Pizza. Anyone can come. It's usually the men that get together. We have some Bible study and we have something. Jason, make sure you put the mic on for our online people. I'll hold the mic.
All right, in August we had an outing fairly geographically close. We went to Hobby Park. There was mixed reviews online on Google, so we checked it out, and for our purpose it worked out well. It was hot that day, but it was all in the woods, so we were under a canopy of shade, and we did 2+ miles of hiking that day. The added bonus was there were people there flying the remote control airplanes around, so we got a free show too, so that was pretty cool. Came back here for some fellowship, devotion, pizza. So that was our most recent activity. Going forward, as far as activities go, keep your eyes on the calendar, on emails, in church and stuff like that. We will be doing events. I know now with school starting up and soccer getting back into the swing of things, dates and times get a little bit more tricky, a little more tough to pull off, but keep your eyes open. And also, for the younger ones, Sunday school has started. We're a couple weeks into it now. We've got a good group of teachers on rotation going, so that's going on for the youngest ones too. That's all I got.
got something to share with the congregation. I was on a backpacking trip this weekend and had planned to be back later on this afternoon. And one of our fellow hikers was really struggling, so we thought it was best that we come back early. Pastor's sermon was talking about a stream and getting lost, and it just made me think of my adventures yesterday, where there were a couple of us that decided to take a little side hike and kind of got to that experience where we're walking down the water a little bit and realized, wow, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Our area of hiking was close to the West Virginia border, near 77. So quite the experience for anybody to join in. For my report is the last time that we met and I talked about the HVAC, we were close to having everything completed with our mechanical units. And I think everybody can see that it's nice and cool in church. So that portion of the project is finished. I still have a little bit of painting and odds and ends to do to wrap up the last little bit of work. Right now, tentatively, we have a work day scheduled to prepare the church grounds for several things. Obviously, we have trunk or treat that's coming up, so we want to try to beautify our church grounds as much as possible. Some of the activities that we're going to plan to do is we'll have pine needles. We're going to spread pine needles. We have certain trees and shrubs that we may try to prune back. Weeds are always high on the agenda to try to beat back every year or every chance that we get. We always have stuff inside the church, windows, vacuuming, all those normal things that happen during the course of weeks. But if I get a large group, then obviously we can do a nice church cleaning for our church property. As mentioned the last time, my future project for properties is to go through a light project, which we're going to update lighting. I think most of us have seen the lights out in the main lobby area are just very temperamental sometimes. So we will upgrade the lights there from their existing balanced light bulbs to something more efficient. That's my report, folks.
Gift you never wanted. That's what we specialize in. All right. This is our numbers. Current average year-to-date attendance is a little deceptive. There are people who are watching us online every week. Currently, there are 5 members that I talk to who watch us every week. So the number 48 isn't incredibly accurate. So a couple weeks ago we did the Narrow Door Sunday. That one got 20 views. I don't know how much that's clickbait. You can see that the average people watch it for 17 minutes. Do they just fast forward to the sermon? I don't know. But people are watching us online. It's difficult for me to give you, it's easy to do butts from a few who's here. It's more difficult for me to do how many people are watching and hearing God's word online. But I want you to know that that is happening. And I've talked to some of the powers that be about how our church body does ministry. I think going forward, I don't really care how you reach or hear God's word. And the millennials may never want to step foot in my church. I don't care. I just want to tell them about Jesus. So that's cool. We'll just do it as many different ways as we can. And I'm thankful for the opportunity that we have with streaming in HD now, and it's awesome. That's what it looks like if you've never gone there. You'll have the worship folder in front of you. You'd have these congregational meeting slides. This will all be there all week. And then you click on that box, and the whole service will just start running immediately after worship is done. That works. It's so easy. Church membership, this has not been updated completely for the year. There are 2 babies who were baptized. There are a couple families that I haven't necessarily got the membership transferred all done yet, but it's okay. I'm not worried. So it's right around 108. Okay. Any questions about membership? Otherwise, Tom? How we fund the ministry.
Yes, this is about your contributions and what we're doing with them and the ministry that it supports. So first of all, I need to tell you about the HVAC program, because before I show you the financials, if I didn't give you the background, a lot of people would go, what? Okay, so here's about the HVAC program. The first thing is it's basically paid for now, but we ended up having to pay $4,000 on the final invoice that we got, which meant the project went a little bit over budget. But of that amount, 2,473 was reimbursed by the Church Extension Fund, which was in Wells Connection not too long ago, which helped us with this total project. And we ended up paying $1,529 out of our building fund, which is pretty good if you think about it, because the whole project was $65,000, and we had the support of the denomination to do it. So as a congregation, our out-of-pocket expense for that whole deal was about $1,500. So that worked out, I think, pretty well for us. And I think it was estimated pretty well at about the right amount of cost when we undertook it. So I think that's a good thing. However, you'll see that $4,000 shows up as an expense this month, which is we don't normally have an extraordinary expense like that. Okay, so if you look at August results, for example, you'll notice a few things. First of all, income was above budget. I should say, by the way, that on our income line for the year, we forecast a little bit of seasonality into it in this budget. So we have expected a little less in the summer because people are away and on vacation and whatnot. And usually it comes back up a little bit towards the end of the year for catch up and tax reasons and things like that. So as I was saying, so this, you'll see the expenses are higher than budget due to that extraordinary event. And so that made our income worse than budget. However, if you took out that extraordinary event of the $4,000 for the HVAC, we would be negative 485, which actually would have been ahead of the budget for the year for August, for the August budget. Then if you look at the year-to-date results, I got somehow whacked out. So anyway, what we have here is our actual income is pretty much on target. We're actually slightly ahead of where the budget figure is. The expenses are running a little bit higher, but not totally significantly. Okay, but our income was a little bit less or a little bit worse because of the extraordinary event. However, we had budgeted about 3,400. So again, with that variance, we would be, if you took that part out, looking at how sort of our normal run rate, we would be negative 1,229 year to date, which is actually ahead of what we had budgeted for where we would be at this point of the year of being negative 3,393. And not putting the total budget up this year, we forecasted a slight loss, not very big, as we close the year. Wouldn't surprise me based on the track record and what we've seen happen that we actually close about break even. So given that, the other thing I'd say about this is next year's budget, I think, will be just about the same as this year. So, you know, we'll present a budget, but I don't anticipate it to be very much different. Are there any questions about this? Basically, I think we're doing okay, if you want it all summarized in a nutshell. Okay? If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.
Okay, that's all we have. If you have any questions, like I said, we try and do this every calendar quarter because it's important that you know what's going on at your church, how we're spending your donations that you give to the church, and we're all available if you have any questions after the meeting, if you want to talk about anything, or if you have any ideas for other things you'd like to see done here, we're open to those as well. Any other questions from the group? Otherwise, I think we're finished here. Okay, the ushers are coming up and they'll usher you out.